What's going on, guys? What's going on? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live. We have got an awesome show lined up for you tonight. Just an awesome show lined up for you tonight. Don't worry, I am fixing the screen, if you know what I mean. We're going to get some graphics, get some charting up on there. It was up just a moment ago, but don't worry, I am on it, guys. I am on it. What is good, people? What is good? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele. Coming to you live this Saturday Night Live, as it were. We have an awesome show lined up for you tonight. Going to cover some really exciting stuff, some funny stuff, some interesting content, bringing it all to you tonight. Who do we got up in here? Definitely, I see some familiar names, some new ones as well. We've got Hump Deezy. We've got Robbie Gilchrist. We got Bang Stun. We've got Truckin' All Day, and so many others. Great to see you guys. What is going on? Good to see some members up in here as well. So we have had just a heck of a week here. We had a great show last night that went nearly a little bit over 4 hours long. Boy, a long time since I pulled one of those off. And that was with Upshot. And we had a great show with Upshot last night. And we covered just about everything under the sun that you could with Upshot in one show. And we just had a great time. And we talked actually a quite substantial amount about his new project, Upcoin. And so if you haven't checked that out, definitely feel free to stream that in the archives, especially with these longer ones. It's really good just to kind of have the audio going while you're doing other things. And it's always nice to have something on the background where you're just kind of taking it all in. Who else we got in here? We've got Crypto Tank Girl. We got Alan Schneider. We've got Robert Hawley. Welcome. Good to see you. Tony C. We got Lisa Timmerman. We've got Slay Blaze. We got Shudoshi Stormer 144, and the list goes on. We got Life in Space Podcast. Welcome back, Forked Tongue. Yes. Great to see you guys. Before we get started, if I could ask you just to smash that like button. It takes a split second of your time. It doesn't cost you a dime. It's the number one thing you can do to help a new emerging channel like this reach more people, get up into those tricky YouTube algorithms. Listen, I want you to smash that like button like you'd smash your first childhood celebrity crush. Secondly, if you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. You are watching Steven Steele Live. I'm Steven Steele. Join our awesome community. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Don't forget to hit all on that notification bell. And then if you are already a subscriber, hit all on the notification bell. And lastly, anyone who feels compelled to super chat throughout the night, that's obviously hugely appreciated for the time and efforts put in. And you can feel free to ask myself or either of my esteemed panelists this evening any questions you'd like. Speaking of which, I'm going to bring in our first guest, a co-hostess with the mostest. It is Samantha, Aussie Sam. What is going on?
Hey, not a lot. I'm very excited.
Very good. It's great to hear your voice. Great to have you back. I know the audience here always likes to hear from you as well. So are you ready to do it to it?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Awesome. Well, we've got a lot to cover tonight. Some stuff a bit more on the serious side for crypto, and other stuff just we're going to cover some funny, wacky stuff as well, and a little bit of everything
that's my
in between.
Kind of show.
Yes, we're gonna cover the span of that. Yeah, for sure. And then secondly, our very special guest for tonight, a guy that we've had on here one other time. This is his follow-up, his sequel appearance. I think many of you are familiar with him for one particular reason. But it is great and my pleasure to welcome back the one and only Dogeboy. Max, how you feeling, man?
Hey, Steven, I'm doing great.
Awesome. Well, it's great to have you back. Last time you were on the air, we pretty much had I grilled you full of questions, and you handled it pretty well. There's going to be a lot less pressure on you this evening compared to your first time. But for those of you who aren't sure who Dogeboy is, it's probably maybe a couple of you. But he is the guy, yes, he is the guy who infamously stormed and crashed the stage of the most recent Bitcoin conference and stripped down with tearaway pants and all and shouted Dogecoin to the moon repeatedly before being picked up and escorted off of the stage and out of the building. Yes, that is him. It's Dogeboy, balls of steel, Max himself. Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy. So that's who we have as our special guest on the show tonight. So, Max, I see that you on the top of your Twitter, you have a tweet, and I'm paraphrasing here, pinned to the top of your Twitter that says you think, hey, you think that stunt was something you haven't seen anything yet. Is that wow? I mean, talk about piquing curiosity. So that's certainly not.
Oh, he's got something lined up.
Yeah. Do you? I mean, you don't have to tell us specifically, of course, but do you already have your next plan in mind?
Yeah, I got a couple plans, but I can't get into.
Don't say too much.
I know.
I can't get into any specifics.
Yes,
But
I understand.
have one question. Did you get yourself some more pants?
Not yet, but
Okay.
I'm gonna have to order some soon.
Yes, definitely. Express post.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. Obviously, you can't reveal too much because that would defeat the purpose of a covert mission in a surprise one. But I can't wait, man. I know that whatever you got planned is going to be exciting and more than likely just as hilarious as it is exciting, right?
Of course. And
Okay.
it's gonna be much crazier.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay.
Top secret, though. Top secret.
Wow. Okay. Well, you've really piquing folks' curiosity here now, and in the chat as well. So, yeah. Well, obviously, I'm gonna have to have you back right after whatever you've got planned transpires. Hopefully, it doesn't land in the slammer.
Yeah, hopefully not. I'm not sure. This one might. This one might do me in.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will be starting your GoFundMe now, sir.
Yes, daily now.
Yeah, we'll be starting to go. We're just going to get out ahead of it right now on your behalf, and we're just going to start your GoFundMe now. Somebody asked in chat, did you get and this is something we went over earlier, but this is first time some of the folks have heard you. Did you get a huge adrenaline rush when you went on stage?
Oh yeah, for sure. It was the biggest adrenaline rush ever.
Yeah, and we were talking about that. And did you have the clammy hands and everything that goes along with that, or was it more just your heart just racing?
No, it was just like heart racing, you know? Not like clammy hands or like
Okay.
not really nervousness, just adrenaline.
Yeah. And one of the more funny aspects about the story, when we first went over it, Dogeboy, your first appearance in the show, is you told us like right after security had escorted you out of the building, the police were on their way to take you away, and you said you actually saw the police car that was there rolling up to take you away, and you just kind of bolted, right?
Yeah, I had to. I had to.
Down to the
that's
beach
awesome.
and spend the afternoon.
That's awesome. And then did your friend had did you guys rent a car while you were down there?
No, we didn't rent a car. I think we really should have, because we underestimated how much Uber would be.
Oh yeah.
Because we never had done Uber before, but
well, especially during a conference, all the rates go up when it's high demand for Ubers and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but we just Ubered everywhere.
Okay, got it. And then you guys just met up at a diner. You eluded the law. And then you met up at a diner, and you're just kind of having a laugh over it all before getting out of Dodge, right? Or Doge.
Yep.
Yeah. That's awesome. So let me get on with a few stories, guys, and then we'll just kind of have a little bit of a round table and talk about the events of the day. All right. So the first story I got lined up here is Baby Doge to debut in NASCAR with a number 68 Camaro. This comes courtesy of BN Crypto, which is also reposted through Yahoo Finance. The cryptocurrency craze in NASCAR continues in Atlanta this week, with Brandon Brown's Camaro being sponsored by Baby Doge. The coin, and an offshoot of the original meme coin, Dogecoin, has been labeled the world's first cryptocurrency dog charity based. The crypto that dubbed itself the Son of Doge has donated nearly $100,000 to charities to take care of canines. Created in June 2021. Wow, I knew Baby Doge was new, but I didn't know it was that new. So this thing's like not even a month old. For charity, coin has gained around 500,000 investors after some help from the Doge father himself, Elon Musk. We'll talk about that momentarily. In a statement about this sponsor this weekend, Brown spoke about his desire to help further the cause of caring for animals. Being a dog owner and animal lover myself, I'm very excited about this partnership and the meaning behind Baby Dogecoin's initiative. The car looks awesome. I can't wait for everyone to see it on the track this weekend. So here we go, guys. Obviously, Dogecoin really kind of set precedent. It was the first cryptocurrency to sponsor a NASCAR, the first cryptocurrency to sponsor NASCAR and step its foot heartily into the foray of that space. And now here, Baby Dogecoin kind of taking a cue. People have mixed feelings about these blatant spin-off coins and these BSCs and whatnot. But I have to say, out of many of them, I personally, anyway, have noticed that the Baby Dogecoin community is actually pretty nice, and they seem to hold a lot of respect for the original Dogecoin. It seems like most of the folks involved in that community, and it's actually a pretty large community for a BSC, are also Dogecoin holders. And a lot of times with these charity coins, and I have to say that this NASCAR looks pretty darn cool. It's like it's Baby. Sam, you might want to mute your mic. It's like baby blue. It's orange. It's got the big Baby Doge on it. And another thing, too, I was talking about this upshot last night, you guys, where a lot of these BSCs, they really pride themselves on being charity coins. And for me, it's almost become so cliche. It's almost like a red flag. Like you're just including like charity in your BSC to make up for like you maybe just having a crappy coin or crappy product to use it as an umbrella to shield yourself against that. But what I like about this article is it actually gives us some numbers, right? So now we know, because a lot of times when someone, it's a charity coin. Well, what does that mean? Did you give like a fraction of a percentage to the charity? Like, what does this mean in numbers? So we actually have in numbers that they've given about $100,000 to canine charities. That's a pretty good number. That's a pretty good number considering they've only been around a month, right? So are either of you guys have any investment in the Baby Doge? Max?
No, I'm not in Baby Doge at all. I wish I was. I heard about it like around when it first started, but you know, there were so many meme coins, or there still are, and they just add on words like, you know, safe, blah blah blah,
Right.
baby, blah blah blah, and I just thought, you know, that was just another one of those, and it was just gonna die.
Right.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish I got in on that one.
Yeah, because it has popped pretty well, and it seems to continue to do pretty well right now. Whether it can go the distance remains to be seen, but I totally know what you mean, Max, because it's kind of like it's just gotten so out of hand. I can see how you would think that. I actually put a little bit in Baby Doge, and then a couple of the community members who are big fans of my show actually gave me a small bag of Baby Doge as well. So thank you to those folks. And I put a bit of money on top of it as well. Of course, when I always talk about BSCs, just as a disclaimer, guys, I always recommend that this is a high risk, high reward kind of a sector of the market. That's why I call it the red light district of crypto. So let's make sure that's what you know what you're getting yourself into. And I always allot like a small part of my portfolio for these kind of projects. I think it's fun. And they're stepping up. They're kind of this kind of seems like an homage to Dogecoin to put themselves in the NASCAR arena. I just thought it was an interesting story, and it's good to actually see some numbers behind the charity. Sam, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so
When I hear that coin, all I keep thinking is baby Doge. And you know what? As a parent that invests in crypto and follows Elon Musk, he just sabotaged the whole rest of my year now because it's going to be in my head.
Yeah, it's one of these things too where the media has a hard time differentiating between the reality of what Elon tweeted and what he meant, right? So the media just takes off with it and says, oh, well, he was obviously giving a direct shout out to Baby Doge. And, you know, that's how they pretty much reference it when they speak about it in the mainstream press. But which is great for Baby Doge that they actually frame it that way. Obviously, it gives them more legitimacy. But in reality, I don't really think that Elon pays an absorbent amount of attention to the BSC market, or even knows or super familiar with a lot of the tokens in the BSC market. I just think that he likes the Baby Shark song a lot. He's referenced it a few times in the past. He thinks it's funny. And
Baby Shark song.
What's that?
I said, who likes the Baby Shark song?
I like the Baby Shark song.
You haven't heard it on repeat all day, every day for about a month.
Yeah, I'm not a parent, I that I know of. And, so, with that in mind, I have a different perspective than you. If I had a toddler who insisted on playing it incessantly over and over again, I'd probably have a much more jaded perspective on Baby Shark.
Yeah, I don't listen to any of that stuff. My kids listen to my music, and they actually really like my music. So we can sit in the car and play my own music, and my kids will just sing along. They'll request my songs, and I'm like, yeah, that's right.
So you're like the mama DJ, and your kids have been indoctrinated and brainwashed into your tastes, and so when they make requests, they request your favorite songs.
Yes, actually today they requested Believer by Imagine Dragons. So we had that on repeat in the car, and they were just like singing it so loud, and it was so good to see them singing it. Yeah. I just thought that was kind of a fun news story. And,
I always had mixed feelings about Baby Doge because obviously it has no direct relationship with Dogecoin. It It has no direct relationship with the OG. It's obviously its branding is coattailing off of the OG, which I don't know. It's just kind of whatever. But I will say that aside, because that does rub me the wrong way a little bit. I will say that aside, the community has been very, very pretty cool, and the fact that we actually have some numbers now to go with the charity, like how much, right? When a BSC coin, you guys, we've all seen it. Every BSC now claims to be a charity, and so many of these charity coins, I mean, that could mean anything. That could mean $50 to a charity for.
Yeah, it's nice to see the number and see that they're actually doing what they say they're doing, because I've noticed a lot of these new coins that are coming out, they all say that they're doing a charity just to try and get people on board.
Right.
But you never see the numbers. So it's actually really good to see the numbers. And I'm actually the opposite of you. I think Elon's a smart man. If he didn't know about Baby Doge, someone in his circle did. And I don't think that he said Baby Doge other than to mean Baby Doge. He knows a lot of the Doge holders are playing around at the moment. Doge is being really quiet. Why not put some in something else, up your money, and then put it back into Doge, you know?
You raise a pretty interesting point there. Not one I entirely agree with, but it's well-reasoned.
What does Dogeboy think? Because
Yeah,
me
I
and
was
you,
about to
we're
ask him.
opposite. Yeah, so Dogeboy can tell us, and then we'll go, okay, 2 against 1.
Yeah, so what do you mean? What do I think of, like, Elon's tweeting that?
Elon's tweet, do you think he meant Baby Doge?
Yeah, so I think he knew what he was doing. I think he knew. With all of his tweets, I think he knows what he's doing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
When
This
he
is a
tweeted
man that
about-
knows that he can move the market.
Yeah, exactly. And when he's tweeted about Bitcoin causing it to pump and like making these huge announcements about Tesla, like allowing it for payments, he knew what he was doing, and like putting it on their balance sheet as an investment, like they didn't have to announce that, but he decided to I think move the market. So I think he knows what he's doing. Like I think he knows it's a little bit manipulative. But yeah.
So interesting. I actually slightly disagree with both of you on this, and that's okay. It makes it interesting. So let me ask you this, Max, and Sam. I'd like to extend this question to both of you. What motivation? Because what motivation do you think Elon has towards specifically shouting out a spinoff of Dogecoin when he's obviously very passionate about Dogecoin in terms of its actual utility, which he talks quite a bit about, and fine-tuning that and maximizing the utility of Dogecoin to be a very viable digital currency throughout the planet. So that in mind, Baby Dogecoin doesn't really have much utility aside from most BSCs. So with that in mind, why would he specifically tweet out intentionally towards Baby Dogecoin? Guys,
I think I know what you mean, but I think he's just doing it just to entertain himself. Just
for fun.
Like, yeah, I think it's almost for fun. Like with like I feel like Dogecoin's first tweets about it was just for fun, and then it was like, oh, this could actually have utility, and it's actually a good coin, and now it's just like having fun with other BSCs tweeting about Baby Doge.
But also, I think if you take out like the billionaire status, he's a real person like us. Not like he has enough time like us to be like on Twitter and seeing what's going on. You can obviously see in the Twitter space that a lot of people are moving to the BSC tokens to try and gain a lot more money, you know? And I think that him doing that, you know that tweet that he put out, find as many coins as you can and fast, and then deleted it. I think that was also a hint as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he tweeted and deleted that with a specific intention. Sure.
Yeah, he did. The people that seen it, like me, I took it the way that, okay, I'm going to go and look for these little coins and see if I can 10x my money and then put it back into Doge. You know, Doge isn't doing much at the moment, and it's being quite quiet. You know, people are kind of getting a little bit bored and playing somewhere else, and then hopefully putting some more profits back into Doge.
Yeah.
I don't think Elon's doing that, like that tweet about baby Doge. I don't think he was doing it for his own like monetary gain.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't think he's tweeting about these things like Dogecoin and then it pumps. I don't think it's for him. It's just like
I think
it's for everybody. Like
yeah.
Just for himself, like just for fun.
Well,
yeah.
You know, here's the thing. Like, what I could see, you know, to give you guys the benefit of the doubt, what I could see a possible scenario with that is him recently finding out that there was a baby Doge, right? And him having a laugh at that. Oh my God, someone made a baby Doge. That's cute. That's funny. And then tweeting about it. You know what I mean? Kind of somewhat spontaneously after seeing that, because it's only a month old, you know? So I could see that. I could see that to give benefit of the doubt. You know, a couple other people in chat were bringing up the fact that, you know, when he mentioned a Shiba Inu, that the Sheeb community adopted that, said, oh, he's specifically talking about us. And to me, that was more clear cut that he wasn't. Yeah. To me, it was like, you know, the Sheeb is obviously the mascot of Dogecoin, and the idea that Elon was specifically also giving a shout out to the Sheeb token seemed like quite a stretch. What do you say, Max?
Yeah, I think that was a stretch as well. I think they just tried to capitalize, like the Shiba Inu community just capitalized off that. Even though it was such a stretch, the fact that it just started getting around and hype started building up around it, I think, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think we're all on the same page with that one. You know, you're a great guest to talk about this with, specifically, Dogeboy. As you're probably well aware, TikTok has had a dramatic bomb-dropping change in policy over the last 24 hours. And for those of you who aren't familiar, TikTok recently just announced that they are pretty much putting a kibosh on all cryptocurrency, pretty much most all cryptocurrency related content on its platform, which is a pretty big deal, considering how many content creators involving cryptocurrency there are on TikTok. Dogeboy, I know you're pretty active on TikTok, yeah?
Yeah, I was actually wanting to talk about this. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah. So,
I think it's...
Yeah,
what were you going to say?
I was just going to ask you, what are your thoughts on this? I know you've got a really active following on TikTok. I know you've put a lot of work into building an audience there and curating it. And you obviously put out a lot of crypto-centric content on there. First of all, what is this? What do you think this is going to mean for your channel on TikTok? Just going forward here.
Yeah. So, yesterday, or technically 2 days ago now, where I live, but yesterday, basically, that announcement came out, and everybody was freaking out. Like, I was freaking out. And, like, I was talking to some of my other crypto influencers, and they were freaking out just as much as me. And everyone was, like, promoting all their other socials. Like, they're like, oh, follow me on Twitter before I get banned. Because there's huge pages on TikTok with, like, 300,000, 500,000, million followers. And everyone thought that like anything about crypto was going to be banned. But I started looking into it more, and people were like just talking about it. And really what it is it's not like all crypto content. It's more like TikTok's really targeting like just BSC scam coins. And like any promotional content with like affiliate codes. You know, they're not going after like educational content or like anything like chart analysis about Bitcoin. It's really about just like they're trying to target promo videos for like scam coins. And that was a really big relief to me, because I was like, because that's where my biggest like following is and where I produce the most content. It's like TikTok is so easy for me to create on. Like it's just natural for me to make content on TikTok. And I was like so scared because I didn't know what like I would do like as an influencer, because I do Twitter, but it's just harder for me. It's not natural. So but it's okay, because it's just like if you're just doing educational content or like memes, like funny videos about crypto, you're not gonna get taken down.
Yeah. So when did that's great news, obviously, but has TikTok made any official statements of clarification regarding this? How did you figure this out, or how did you get this impression that there was more nuance to the initial shock?
Well, really, there are articles, like, really all the headlines for these things about the TikTok ban. If you look into them more, it really specifically says, like, promotional ads. And, like, this is just, like, speculative, what I'm saying right now. But,
okay.
After all this stuff with, like, did you hear about the Save the Kids coin and FaZe Clan?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard of that.
Yeah, so, like, all that stuff, and then this ban comes out, you can also point it to, like, oh, they're just trying to get rid of, like, scams. But then, like, also, they specifically said, like, promotional ads. It wasn't, like, any crypto videos. They, like, specifically said, like, ads.
Right. Okay, so they were clear in their original press release about it. It's just that the corporate press's coverage of it has been not very detailed and pretty sensational, is what you're saying.
Yeah, the headlines made it, because like I wasn't reading the headlines until like 12 hours after everything happened, but like those headlines were making everyone tweak, but it's not as bad as everyone thinks. And people, like, I've been noticing on TikTok, nobody has stopped making content. Like, all my favorite crypto influencers, they haven't even slowed down. Like, they're still just doing it because they know they're not going to get banned. Because if it's just educational content and stuff, like, I don't, like, logically TikTok wouldn't do that, like, ban them.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering too, and I was talking about it when the story first broke when we were live last night. I'm like, where does this end? I mean, is this gonna ban, like songs like all those Doge songs that have been on TikTok and stuff like that? I mean, geez, where does this end? And so many times, the more creatively inspired TikTok content creators in relation to crypto post just a variety of like funny, kind of creative, almost like video meme kind of content. I mean, it'd be a shame if all of a sudden that was all illegal as well. So they've tweaked policies to weed out the more like what started to become a over prevalency in scam project rugs and things like that, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm taking out of it, which is, obviously great. Like,
yeah,
I see on my TikTok all the time, you can see, like, you can go on somebody's page, they have so many more followers than, like, what other influencers deserve, and it's just rugs. Like, you can just tell, like, they're getting paid to just shill a rug, and they get so many followers because of it. And it's like, now it's just weeding out all the bad stuff, and hopefully it's going to keep all the good stuff. And people, I also was speculating this, but TikTok is a Chinese company, so everybody was thinking, like, with all the stuff with China right now in crypto, like, they're trying to suppress Bitcoin and just basically try to ban crypto in China.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, and a whole bunch of other people were thinking, that, like, with the headlines, TikTok was trying to just suppress all crypto because the Chinese government, but that's not the case.
Yeah,
but people were thinking that at the start.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that too, and I can understand, some people jumping to that narrative, given the dynamics between our two countries over last year. But yeah, it doesn't sound like there's much truth to that narrative. So it's cool to have you on, because I knew that you are, directly involved in this space more than the rest of us. So it's good to have you shed some light on that and understand that, because I honestly, before talking to you, I thought it was just an outright ban of most all crypto related content on TikTok, which would have been pretty disadvantageous for them to do. That's a lot of views, a lot of traffic that they would be turning down. So I'm sure you are relieved, along with your friends. So is there anything else you can think to add to the TikTok story there, or you think we covered it pretty well, Dogeboy?
Yeah, I think we covered it pretty well. I don't think TikTok has, like, given an official, like, a clearing up statement, just to 100% make sure, but I think we're going to be okay. And yeah, if TikTok did a whole outright ban on crypto, it would have been too suspicious, like, with the ties to China. So I think we're good. I think everything's okay.
Yeah. Right on. And that's obviously a relief to hear. What is your TikTok, by the way, Dogeboy, in case people want to know?
My TikTok is MaxOTG.
MaxOTG. And that's also your Twitter handle too, right?
Yeah, MaxOTG on every social media.
Yeah, but if you just type in Dogeboy one word, his Twitter, on Twitter anyway, it'll pop up as well. So let me just go to the next story here, guys. This comes courtesy of Bazinga. And the title of the article, this is just kind of a fun one. And it's nothing of super substantial importance. I just think it's funny that some of the financial outlets are actually turning these kinds of things into stories. That's what makes them funny to me. Anyway, the title of this article is Dogecoin Creator. That's my good friend Billy Marcus. Reflects on why he put money in his savings account and not Doge. And I remember when he tweeted this out a couple days ago. Unfortunately, hindsight math only works in hindsight, said Billy Marcus on Twitter. What happened? Marcus, who created the immensely popular meme-based cryptocurrency back in 2013, joked in a tweet that it was a good thing that he put his money in a savings account, which earned a 0.75 APR instead of Dogecoin itself. And I remember when he tweeted this out just a couple days ago. This is what the tweet said, you guys. On this day in 2014, one Doge was worth a fraction of a penny. One Bitcoin was worth $624. ETH hadn't been invented yet. $100 in Doge would be $90,000 now. Good thing I put my money in my 0.75 APR savings account. Now imagine that. And this is something I've joked around with, and Billy has a really good sense of humor about it. I've joked around with Billy when he was on my show. Hindsight's obviously always 20/20, but you guys imagine being the creator of something that has gone on to be as wildly successful and prolific as Dogecoin, only to have learned that you sold all of yours, and you sold all of yours to keep it in a savings account and to buy a beat up Honda Civic. And then you fast forward a few years later and you see all these people making wild amounts of money on something you made, but you're left with your Honda Civic. What do you say, Dogeboy? Kind of a wild dynamic there, huh?
Wait, so he really had no money in Dogecoin, like, after he made it?
Yeah, basically what happened was their creation, the inception of it, and the release of it was in 2013. By the time he got to about the end of, and I might be getting this a little bit wrong, and Billy, if you're listening, feel free to correct me and pop in the chat or my inbox, but I believe that he got out pretty much. He got kind of like burnt out, and he's having some just repeated bad experiences just in crypto in general. And I think he just needed a break and wanted to walk away from the project for a while. And I think that was about 2015. Yeah, 2015. And at that time, too, he was in real dire straits financially. So he had sold all the remainder of his Dogecoin to buy a Honda Civic.
Oh, my God.
To buy a Honda Civic, and then a couple years later, all of a sudden he just noticed he literally knew people that were like thanking him for being millionaires off of his creation. He's like, wait, what? And then he started checking up on it, and he was like, holy shit, what's going on here? So that's where the Honda Civic memes have kind of started coming in, and I've tried my hand at a few Honda Civic Billy Marcus memes myself, so Billy went on to say, this is more of a recent quote from him where he said, I don't own any Dogecoin except for what had been tipped to me, which is true, I think. But now he's up to a pretty decent amount. I think he's up to about 150, 160,000 Doge. I gave away and or sold all the crypto I had back in 2015. So I did get the timeline right. After being laid off and losing everything, scared about my dwindling savings at the time, for about enough. I had enough in total to buy a used Honda Civic. He tweeted out kind of in a joke in response to this fun fact is, someone said to him, he said, this is how I mentally compare all purchases, such as this house costs 125 used Honda Civics. So, I've talked to Billy about this too when I had a one-on-one with him on the show, where what got him back into Dogecoin, and he predominantly attributes it to the community and just all the new blood that got pumped into Dogecoin community-wise, and that he just started meeting all these really good-spirited, good-natured people who seemed to express a lot of respect for what he had created, and that kind of drew him in more and more. And I actually started seeing the trajectory before I ever even became friends with or talked to Billy on his Twitter, where if you compare Billy's Twitter timeline to, let's say even 6 months ago till now, the overall tonality of it definitely softens. You can see where he got back on Twitter, right? He started tweeting stuff a little bit here and there, but you could tell he was still pretty trepidatious and hesitant, because his last experiences in cryptocurrency in 2014-ish were not good experiences, with either the community or whatever, all the other dynamics too. And he went into that in detail as well, wherein, when you become a creator of something, all of a sudden there's a cryptocurrency particularly, all of a sudden there's a lot of pressure where just because you created the coin, people also think you control the market somehow, right? So if the coin is not doing well at the moment, then you get a lot of people who will try to track you down, not try, and then blame you for any time the coin is having a downturn, which gets immensely stressful and annoying, And so he had a lot of that. He was expressing frustration with that happening a lot in the past, and that was one of the reasons what caused him to get out. But the new community and just all the new energy in the community, people reaching out to him, really brought him back into the fold. And now Billy is obviously super active in the Doge community and very bullish and very positive about the direction of things, So, so that's what I kind of included. I thought it'd be funny to include on the artwork tonight. Honda Civics are the new Lambos, guys. I'm declaring it tonight. Honda Civics are the new Lambos. So if you see a man,
I'm gonna have to send a picture. I'm gonna have to do a Twitter post with me and my Honda Civic. And tag him.
Do you really own the Honda Civic or no?
I own a 2001 Honda Accord. But
pretty close.
Looks like a Honda Civic. So.
Pretty close, man.
Don't tell him. Don't tell anybody. But I'll make a post tomorrow.
Yeah, dude, definitely do that, and definitely tag Billy in it, and then I'll retweet it as well. That'd be awesome. Yeah, okay, cool. Pretty much, Max. If you 2001 Honda Accord, that's pretty much the same car, honestly.
Yeah, they look exactly the same.
Yeah, I just Googled image it. It looks exactly the same. So, Sam, I don't know if you had any thoughts on this story or not. This quote unquote story.
As long as you've got wheels and it gets you from A to B, it doesn't really matter what kind of car it is.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because even though I'm obviously deeply entrenched in the crypto world as a content creator, I personally have never been a super big car guy. It's just not where my priorities are. I understand that most dudes in particularly in crypto are. So I'm really, honestly, I have a Jeep right now, and then I've got a big old beat up 2001 cargo van for the small business I run. And between those two things, even if I were to become a Dogecoin millionaire tomorrow, I don't know, I'd still ride out that Jeep for as long as it would let me. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the Jeep. Perhaps after that, for me, we'll see. For me too, I'm about 6'2.5", and for me, I'm also a little bit between me being on the taller end and me being claustrophobic. For me, it's all about headspace. I need that extra headspace. I need a tall roof in my car. So, actually, I think a Lambo would probably start to bother the claustrophobic aspect of my personality. If you had, if you guys had, if money was no object, what sort of vehicle would you be driving, Max?
A 1980s BMW.
Oh, not 80s BMW.
Yeah, like one of the E30s, like those vintage ones, for sure.
But BMWs they're like expensive to fix. I had a BMW X5 and the engine started leaking oil and it was so much to fix the damn thing.
Well, if the mechanic accepts Dogecoin, none of that will be a problem for me.
Yeah. Excuse me a moment, guys. We finally got our first super chat. It happened. Esteban, who is over in Turkey right now, giving 50 Turkish smackaroos. Thank you, Esteban. I appreciate you, man. McGregor broke his ankle.
Wow.
Just now. Did you? Wow.
Oh,
I know you were watching the fight right before the broadcast. Right before the broadcast. How were things looking before the broadcast? It seemed like McGregor was doing pretty good. No.
Oh, are you asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I totally miscalculated when the main fight would happen, so I didn't get to watch it.
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I thought you had been watching it a bit.
No, but I. Yeah, that sucks. I wasn't rooting for either of them. I was just gonna watch, but that's not good.
Yeah, broken ankles are generally not good. So we wish the best for McGregor. I like Conor McGregor. I think he's a real spirited chap, and I think he's got a pretty keen fashion sense, and I think he adds a lot to that whole sport. And so yeah, that's unfortunate to hear. I'm sure we'll be hearing all about it the rest of the night and then through the next week. But yeah, thank you for breaking this. Popping the super chat cherry there. Let me see. By the way, I just joined Steven Steele. Just joined. Oh, he just got in the chat. Okay. Well, welcome, Esteban. Obviously, it's good to see you. That is my name in Espanol, Esteban. So yeah, first round. Wow. Jeez. An 80s BMW, Max, just because you like the general aesthetics of it, I assume?
Yeah, just look-wise, and they say, like, the driving experience is amazing.
Yeah,
just
right.
I like all the vintage cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I am a big fan of... I'm not a big car guy to begin with, but I like vintage everything. Right down from vintage furniture to vintage art to classic vintage design. And obviously that carries through in cars as well. You know, I really like the vintage for cars. I would say, yeah, a lot of vintage European design. I actually there was a chapter in my life where I made a pretty decent chunk of my income buying old, beat up European scooters and flipping them after giving them a complete overhaul. And I did that for a couple of years. So I'd take old Vespas and Lambrettas, and then I'd totally refurbish them and then flip them on eBay. Remember when people used to sell things on eBay? So yeah, that was fun, and that's also kind of the classic 19. But those were more like anywhere from like 60s, 70s, even 50s. But and I also used to have a 19. What was it? A late 80s Saab, Saab, European car, and I liked that for the same reason, some of the same reasons you're citing an 80s BMW. So I can understand that, Max. It just has a very some of the European cars from that era just have the design is much more distinct, you know, the lines and the way it's laid out is just much more of a distinct look. Where I think with car design now, even the super upscale ones, and you know, whether it's BMW or Mercedes-Benz, etc., a lot of times everything's like so like rounded in design that it all starts kind of looking like the same thing. You know what I mean? Where I notice in car design from days of yore and in the 80s as well, a lot of cars were still made with more of those clean, angular kind of lines and looks. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. They like more boxy.
Yeah. So there is like a troll who keeps creating like new YouTube accounts and like keeps thumbing the video down. And his name is Chad in all caps, because of course it is. And he's very upset that I don't have a Doge chart on the screen for tonight's broadcast. Bro, Doge is doing what it's been doing for the last 3 fucking months, you moron. It's trading between 20 cents and 24 cents. There's really nothing to tell right now. So if you have to like have the candles on the screen at every second of a broadcast on a podcast, at this point when it's trading sideways for months at a time, there's a bunch of other places you can go, you absolute troglodyte. So find something else to do with your night, sir. There's a million other channels that you can check out where you can do that. All right, I just had to get that out of the way. So Esteban coming in again with a super chat of 50, another 50 Turkish. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Esteban. If you read this, nice one. That is good. But I'm not going to read the rest of it because I see what you're doing there. That was a very Bart Simpson-esque super chat.
Boys.
Yeah. So, anyway, let's get to the next story, guys. So, again, I kind of want to extrapolate on this a little bit more because I think it's worth touching on. Because this was a pretty epic moment in Elon tweets from 2 days ago now, where he pretty much really was breaking down, just to kind of break down his latest market-moving Dogecoin tweet. He was responding actually to Matt Wallace. And so kudos to Matt for him prompting this response. But what's most important to me about what Elon tweeted in response to Matt was just how detailed the tweet was, to the extent that it just shows how deeply he has been thinking about Dogecoin still. Because I think people in this space sometimes get anxious. Is he moving on? Was it just like a joke to him just temporarily? He's just onto some other things. Was he really serious about all this Dogecoin stuff? I mean, I've never doubted that, but we see the chatter. And, so when he responded, in this fashion, it was, I think it was just kind of like an epic moment for anybody even loosely, in the Doge space, and basically he was talking about the shortcomings in more detail of both Bitcoin and Ethereum in terms of transaction efficiency and gas fees and things like that, and then basically going on to say how much of that Doge has the potential to remedy, and how he's actively trying to play a role in maximizing the efforts of Dogecoin's transaction speeds, and even getting it maximizing in terms of its affordability. So this spiked the market. Dogecoin specifically, within by 7 points, like almost instantaneously. So this is what Elon said again, you guys. He said, Bitcoin and Ethereum are pursuing a multi-layer transaction system, but base layer transaction rate is slow and transaction cost is high. There is no merit, in my opinion, to Doge maximizing base layer transaction rate, minimizing transaction costs, with exchanges acting as the de facto secondary layer. So what I just explained before then is just more of like the dumb layman's terms to explain that. Because I wouldn't say I'm far from brilliant. I'm not a dummy, but I'm far from brilliant, you guys. So that hopefully that helps you like understand a little bit more what Elon said and why that's important. What do you say, Max? Did you kind of see this soon after Elon sent this out, and do you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I completely agree with Elon because right now, Bitcoin and Ethereum are like the most used blockchains right now. And it is so hard to scale them right now because of their network effect and like all their transactions. They have it's used so much. It's so congested. But right now, Dogecoin, although it is like very high market cap, it is one of the top cryptocurrencies, it is nowhere near as congested and transactable right now. So Dogecoin can be scaled very easily and like updated very easily, like compared to the others. So I think like, and since Dogecoin's community is so strong, like, I'm not gonna say like it's gonna kill them, but since it's so like it's not as congested, I think it can scale so much faster, and people aren't realizing that. And since the community is so strong, it's just gonna boost it even harder.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think you stated your point very solidly, Max, because essentially what we're talking about here, guys, are realities in regards to Dogecoin up against Ethereum and Bitcoin that most people, even in crypto, they still haven't really comprehended it yet. They still don't really understand this yet. And for as much as I pound on the table night after night, and I've even made a couple of videos explaining this very point. One of them, I made a video with Upshot explaining this, which is the basic reality that Bitcoin is pretty much dead on arrival in a retail space. At the end of the day, people are not spending Bitcoin. They will not spend Bitcoin. They're not going to use Bitcoin in any substantial manner, in any substantial way to purchase anything. And so when people complain about, even today, as personally, you're probably noticing some of this already, Max, as well, but as your profile rises on social media, so do your critics and your haters. And so I've been noticing a sharp uptick in my haters consequentially. And many times they say things like they propagate the false fact that there's no cap on Dogecoin, even though there's a soft annual cap, and that because of this, that it can never be worth anything. Well, I'm sorry. Dogecoin was worth what in 2014 and is worth what now? Well, that's already kind of proved that entire premise of that logic and argument wrong right there, firstly. And secondly, there's another pretty popular cryptocurrency that doesn't have this stern hard cap on it, and it's called Ethereum. It's called Ethereum.
To add to that, also Ethereum is about to not have, it is about to be deflationary.
Right.
With the hard fork. So Dogecoin can do the exact same thing and become deflationary.
Yeah. Totally. Totally. And Alan Schneider in chat. Hey, Steven Steele, have you ever considered making merch? Yes, I have. And there have been requests for it. I think, I mean, I'm trepidatious because I'm not sure my audience is quite big enough to warrant any merch yet. But I definitely plan on making some. For me, it's just a matter of timing on release. So I can tell you what I plan on making. I just don't know when I'll be actually releasing the stuff for purchase, but I think it's something that I will get to in the next 2 months, honestly. So I plan on making t-shirts for men and women, so different cuts and respectively to that. And they're going to be like the thinner, like stretchier material. That's kind of like a poly blend. My personal preferences, I like that kind of t-shirt better than the beefy, thick cotton ones. So I know that much. I will be making those, and then I'll be making unisex zip-up hoodies because me personally, I need a zipper all the way down my hoodie, man. To me, that's like the aspect of what makes a good hoodie is a zipper. What do you guys think? What do you guys think in terms of hoodie? Do you like your hoodies with or without zippers?
I'm sorry, Steven, but I cannot wear a zip-up hoodie.
Why?
I just can't. That's a jacket.
Yes, that's a jacket. Yes.
That's why I like it, though.
But there's a difference between a jacket and a hoodie. Like, I'm wearing a hoodie right now that I bought yesterday, and it's really, really fluffy. It's almost like pajamas, and it's just, there's no zipper, and it's all just completely comfortable. I'm like a big cuddly teddy bear right now, and I got no zippers digging into me, except the ones on my jeans, which I've really got to unbutton.
Yeah. So good to know, Samantha. So can you do me a favor and say the word zipper one more time?
Zipper.
No. I liked you said it in your forced American accent was actually pretty good on that word.
I told you, I'm good when I want to be.
Okay, so do us a favor again and say zipper in your normal vernacular, and then afterwards I want you to say it in an American accent.
Okay, so now you've put me on the spot and I can't even talk Aussie properly. When I want to say zipper, hang on. Zipper.
Zipper.
Yep. Zipper. Like zipper done up.
Zipper.
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 No, but what you is definitely a jacket. But I do love jackets as well. But when I'm wanting to put like a hoodie on, it's definitely no zipper.
Yeah. So let me ask the audience. I'm going to turn this to the audience. You guys, hoodies with or without zippers or zippas? Let me know. Well, make your vote. State your opinion in the chat, and I'll tally them up, and then we'll go from there. Steve wears jean jackets. He likes zippas. This is true. Denim jackets are my go-to, are my favorite. As you see in my most used avatar, that denim jacket, I have like 4 denim jackets. I have that one, which is the one I still wear the most. I have a black denim jacket. I have one that's a lot like the one in the avatar I always use, except it's even a lot more faded. And then I've got the one with the kind of faux wool lining and collar. So let's see what's going on in the chat. For me, with a zipper. So 1 vote for zipper. Let's see where this goes, guys. 7-1 hidden zipper. Don't get fancy. Hidden zipper. Just zipper or no zipper. So buttons isn't an option. A buttoned up hoodie. What?
No, button is not a option. No buttons.
No buttons. Just don't get tricky. Don't get cheeky, guys. Do you want a hoodie with or without a zipper? I want a hidden zipper. Oh, I want mine with buttons. Come on, you guys. Okay, so 1 vote for zipper. 2 votes for zippers. 3 vote for zipper. Okay, so he said thick zipper. That's a good vote. That's a fair one. Hoodie with no zipper. Jacket with zipper. Okay. Zippered hoodie beneath denim jacket. Hood sticking out. This is the way. I agree entirely with that, Slave Lace. That is my steez. With zipper, pullover, no zipper. Swift says button hoodie. WTF. My sentiments exactly. That's a cardigan. Exactly. No zipper. It seems pretty evenly split, honestly.
Okay, I'm about to post a photo on Twitter of my hoodie.
All right.
And you guys have to tell me if you would rather this or a zipper.
Or zipper.
Zipper.
Okay.
Let me just do this. Now, this is the best $35 I've ever spent on myself, this jumper.
Zipper or no zipper? Okay, we'll check it out. But so far, it seems that the votes are right down the middle between people who are pro and anti zipper on the hoodies. So I just wasn't sure. I'm like, maybe I'm out of touch. Maybe I'm out of touch on the hoodie scene, and most everyone prefers their hoodies without zippers, and I'm on a lone zipper island unto my own.
Yeah, I think zip-up hoodies are out of style now.
Yeah, that could be, and I will take it. I will take that at face value, given our likely age difference, Dogeboy. So, I will succeed that to you.
It's okay if you're confident in it, then you can rock it.
Yeah,
I'm not hating.
Ant Upshot should sell shawls. Upshawl. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Upshaws. Okay. Well, the audience seems pretty evenly split on hoodies with or without zippas. And then Sam posted a photo of herself without a zippa in her Twitter. What?
It's my friend's hoodie. I bought a friend's hoodie yesterday, and I bought some like pink friend's pants as well, like tracky pants. And oh my god, it was like the best thing ever. So comfy. Just go on. I've tagged you. Go on and have a look at my photo, and you can see how nice and fluffy it is. Okay,
I see what you're talking about now. Is that like a hood in your face, or is that just some weird like frilly filter you have on your picture?
No, that's a hood on my face. Oh no, at the top I think it's a bit frilly, but
okay.
I do have the hood on. Really.
It's a Friends like woolly zipper or woolly hoodie.
Yeah, I call it a jumper.
A jumper.
Jumper, even
a jumper without a zipper. Good stuff. Let me see what else I got here on the roster, guys. So this was an interesting article I saw from the Credit Union National Association called "Ignore Cryptocurrency at Your Own Peril." Focus on opportunities to counter the long-term market share challenges of disruptors like PayPal. I'm just going to read a couple of paragraphs of the meat of this thing. And it talks about the biggest hurdles facing crypto have been mass market acceptance and the ability to use holdings seamlessly as means of exchange. Let's face it, to date, virtually all of crypto's transactions have been based on a lot of hype as a speculative asset rather than a functional currency. However, for this reason, PayPal's move, and to a lesser extent Fiserv's, may prove to be a watershed moments. PayPal's website now actively positions crypto as a safe way to pay and transfer for as little as $1. Another intriguing development was El Salvador's decision to accept Bitcoin as legal tender. And actually, it's not limited to that. It's 2 other countries in South America now as well, I believe, accept Bitcoin as legal tender. And that's El Salvador. The two other nations are, the names of the nations are eluding me at the moment, but I did talk about this extensively in another one of my episodes. And then the article kind of concludes with central bank digital currencies will likely be another catalyst for cryptocurrency in the traditional financial sector. The Federal Reserve is collaborating with MIT on such solutions, which keep an eye on the Federal Reserve, guys. We'll have more detail on this as well as the related field of decentralized finance, aka DeFi. For now, credit unions should tune out the noise of daily price swings and focus on opportunities to counter long-term market challenges of disruptors like PayPal. So the first thing I think about when I thought about when reading this, you guys, was what will inevitably, in my opinion, be the ever-growing relevancy and importance of a company like BitPay. And what BitPay does is it mitigates all that risk for a business, right? So it helps large businesses establish cryptocurrencies as checkout options while absorbing a lot of those swings in market value. For example, they will incur at time of purchase, if the between time of purchase and processing of a transaction involving cryptocurrency, if that market value fluctuates negatively anyway, BitPay will cover that difference. So that gives a lot more stability for vendors, right? And now I have to find out. I would love to get a rep on from BitPay to discuss the details of this, but I assume they're able to do that is because conversely, they probably also are the beneficiaries of when the market value of a crypto increases from the time of purchase to processing, and they're able to keep that, to kind of balance out what they're going there. But I think just the fact that BitPay is willing and able to do that, it really takes the risk factor out of the equation for businesses. So I think BitPay is going to continuously be pretty wildly not only wildly popular, but going to likely play an instrumental role in the adoption of cryptocurrency. What do you say, Max? Got any thoughts there?
I just think it's nice that they are going out of their way to make adoption to crypto just so much more less risk and more user friendly, even if it's out of their own pocket.
Yeah. Well stated. What about you, Aussie Sam? Any thoughts on this one?
I think it's a very good idea for them. There's a lot of money to be made in doing that.
Yeah, I think so too. And if BitPay had an IPO or something to that extent, and they don't, I'd probably be investing in them right about now. Robbie Gilchrist, the Dogecoin Dolphinaire, coming in strong, saving the show with 69 Canadian smackaroos. Thank you so much for your generous donation and support of the show, Robbie. Always great to see you, my friend, and I hope you got the song I told you I was going to email you. I did send that out to you this morning, just so you know. So thank you so much, Robbie. Great to see you, my friend. And yeah, so yeah, I think this is that's a pretty good thing to read. And I know that there are rumors that BitPay has been talking things over with Walmart lately. So obviously that would be absolutely major. So we'll just, keep our eye on that. In terms of non-crypto related stuff, Sam, I know that you have a penchant for ghosts and ghost hunting and exploring the paranormal. Is that right?
Yes, I'm actually withdrawing really bad because I can't do it at the moment because of lockdown. So I just ordered this camera about 6 weeks ago. I ordered the camera and it took a real long time to get here. And then it finally came just as we went into lockdown. So I'm like, no. So it's this really cool night vision camera with a microphone on it and everything. And I just haven't been able to go out and use it yet.
So you have a special camera set up and ready to go for such adventures?
Yes. I want to get my YouTube channel, the Midnight Explorers one, really going because we did start it last year before the first lockdown, and then that happened, so we couldn't really continue. And then this lockdown has stuffed us up again. Right. So
we'll get there. Yeah. It sounds like you guys have a lot more restrictions going on over there than we're experiencing here. So
we got lockdown.
You were telling me, now we were talking on our own earlier in the evening for a little bit before we went on the air, and you mentioned to me, you said you picked up a recording of what you believe to be some paranormal activity.
Yes, so if you can play it to the audience, let's see what they say, because you're laughing. You're like, oh, this girl's full of shit. But I'll tell you right now, I also have the video of it as well. It's on my laptop. So we had 2 cameras going. We had a voice thing, and the video that you've got that I sent you is, I think it's a video from the camera, and you can hear a woman in the background saying, "Help me." So we... So
wait. So you have you have a recording of what you believe to be a woman saying, "Help me"?
Yes, 100%.
And for the record, guys, I don't know if I believe any of this crap, but what I do know is I believe that Samantha believes in it, and and that I like hearing her talk about it. What do you say, Max? Are you a believer in the paranormal?
Oh my God, 100%. I have stories.
You have stories too, huh?
I can say, from myself, I have 100% experienced the paranormal.
Wow. Okay. So this is getting pretty fun. So, firstly, what we're gonna do, Sam, I want you to kind of give us a little bit of a backstory of what you were doing and where you were when you encountered this voice that said, "Help me." Okay. Do you think you can give us a little backstory on that, Sam?
Yeah. So we go to this place. We normally used to go there last year about maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and we would just investigate and see what we'd get. A couple of times we'd go there and there'd be absolutely nothing. That's just what happens. Sometimes we'd go there and some weird stuff would happen. And this one time we went there and we replayed the sound back, and you can hear a lady and she says, "Help me." And we actually got that on record.
Wow.
So that's one of the more solid things we've got. We've had experiences. I've told you about that whooshing where I was just standing in this same room, and all of a sudden, there was no wind. We're in a building. All of a sudden, I felt this thing rush straight past me to the point where I felt the pressure on the back part of my body. I felt it whoosh past me, and it scared the crap out of me. I jumped so far.
Oh my God.
It shocked me that much. So is what I do for my adrenaline rush. You know, it doesn't. I'm 31. I've got 2 kids now. My life gets a little bit boring, so I go out and I do this stuff. Even if nothing happens, it's still really, really cool to be like in a dark place. Your senses are like really, really heightened. So anything that goes bump just kind of gives you a little bit of a thrill, and it's exciting for me.
Yeah, well, I've switched out the music now, so I got some scarier kind of John Carpenter music for the topic right now, guys. Wow. So you felt was it like what? How would you describe this feeling of what whooshed up your back or against your body?
So just imagine that someone really, really strong just ran like as fast as they could. It was too fast to be like a human or anything. It was just, I can't explain it, but it was just a really, really hard gust behind me.
Like as if a car, like when cars pass by, like that kind of feeling?
But like thinner. You know, if your car went past you, you would feel it for a bit longer. Whereas this, it was just like a quick little whoosh.
Yeah.
Like a whoosh?
You can imagine. Yeah, that's what I call it, like a whoosh.
A whoosh.
Yes, something straight past me.
Robbie Gilchrist, thank you again. Single-handedly taking care of my cell phone bill for the month. Thank you so much, Robbie Gilchrist. Really appreciate it, man. Honestly, thanks for coming through. Thanks for your generous support, man. I appreciate you. We still have yet to get you on the show, so let's work something out. Thank you, Katie. 69 Canadian Smackaroos. Thanks again, Robbie. So, was this in a house or like an abandoned business or building? Where was this, Sam?
This is an old abandoned hospital where they used to take tuberculosis patients back in the day. Mm-hmm. So it's run down now. It's old. They've built a new one on the same land, which is actually pretty close, but they haven't got rid of the old one. So there's also a cemetery with over 2,000 bodies buried there from the people that have actually died in that hospital.
Wow.
Dang.
Wow.
That sounds like a farm for ghosts, a ghost farm.
Yeah. As well, it's really it's out of the way, so it's up the mountain and it's in its own area. Like there's nothing close to it, because that's where, when you were sick with tuberculosis, they would send you up to the higher air and try and get better. So they were made to go away from anyone from family and just try to get better. They had massive balconies where they'd put all the patients to get fresh air because they believed that fresh air would help. So yeah, it's very, very scary but beautiful place to be.
So scary but beautiful. Sounds like my ex-girlfriend. So did you have a recording of this voice, you said?
I sure do. Let me just, did I send you that link? So it's in my my Facebook group. Yeah,
I would
give you the link, take you to it.
Would it be something you might be able to put your phone up to allow us to hear?
No, you would have to play it. It might be on my YouTube. No, it's not on my YouTube. I didn't put it on my YouTube.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. And did it sound like a young woman or an older woman?
An older woman, definitely. Actually, let me see if I can play it while I'm on with you. Would that work, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, just as long as there's like speakers on anything, you know, like
no. And I click on play. Will you hear that?
No, probably the audience probably won't hear that. Well, the way you could do it is you could unplug your headphones, put your phone up to the speaker on the computer, and play it.
Hang on, let me get the computer. You just keep talking, and I'll sort out the computer so that you guys.
So I'm outnumbered again, you guys. I'm not particularly a big believer in paranormal activity. I do know that the Wayans brothers made a seminal comedy film. I'm not sure how many people went to see a couple of years ago, called Paranormal Whacktivity. I did see it on Amazon Prime. I wouldn't say that I either endorse it or not endorse the film, but it does have a good name, Paranormal Whacktivity. Have you seen Paranormal Whacktivity, Max?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Have you? I was talking to one of my friends at work, and he was talking about a funny movie. It's called The Velocipaster.
The what?
The Velocipaster. Have you ever watched that?
I haven't, but I can tell I'd already like it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but by the name, you already know it's cold.
Yeah, by the name, I'm already in. That's all. I know I'm already in.
Yeah.
So Max, have you mentioned earlier that it sounds like you believe that you've had some a paranormal experience or two in your life.
Yeah, I don't believe I know.
Okay. Okay.
It was. Have you never experienced anything?
I did experience one thing, and I talked about it on another show. I did experience I've witnessed a unidentified flying object. I don't know what it was. I'm not saying it was a UFO or an alien, but it definitely was, by definition, a UFO, and it moved very peculiarly. And it was a very distinctive event. So I guess that would be the closest thing to the one thing that I had witnessed.
Oh, so nothing like like ghosts? No ghosts?
Yeah, nothing like that really for me. Just I saw a UFO once.
Oh, okay.
Hey Max, what's your story? I'm excited to hear it.
Well, do you have the audio for your thing?
Yeah. I'm trying to look for it now. I think I might have put it on my YouTube channel, so I'm just checking it. But the laptop I'm using right now is really slow, so we can hear your story if you want.
Okay, so I feel like I have a whole bunch of stories, but the one that always comes to mind was this one, and I used to work at this haunted house during Halloween season, and it was like, I think I only did it for like one season, but it was like in high school, sophomore year of high school, and there were a whole bunch of people in the house, and there's also a corn maze. There was a house, and then after the tour of the house, then they do the corn maze. Mm-hmm. And I worked there, and I never did it actually, like, beforehand. I just started working there out of the blue. And people, you start to talk with the people that have worked there before, like, for years, just through the seasons, and they say, like, this place is really haunted.
Uh-huh.
Like, it really is. And I could feel it myself, like, whenever you're in the house, like, I worked the house, and I always had this one station, and I just scare people in this one spot, and just keep going and going and going. But everybody would say, like, you can feel something, like something is so off in the house. And people have said so many stories about it. Like, in the corn maze, people say in the corn maze, there's always, at least once a year, there'd be a little girl in a dress that would, like, run through the maze, like crying or screaming. And I never experienced that, but so many people would vouch that, like, they have seen it. And there's just, like, a little girl that would always run through the maze, like, screaming or something. And I was like, dang, that's scary. Like, that's freaky. I don't know if everybody's lying or what, but then people told other stories of, like, the haunted house really consisted of two, like, trailers, like mobile homes.
Uh-huh.
And there were these people, the people that owned the place, they got all their friends and they, like, had a sleepover in the second trailer, like, for fun, just to see what would happen. And they were like footsteps, like full on people walking in the other rooms. And all these stories, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And also, like, whenever I was working it, maybe like before we actually started, or like after all the people have gone through, and it's just like super late at night, nothing's going on, and I'm just like by myself walking through it, like leaving the house, you'd always just get this really weird feeling of like something is watching you or something's behind you. And like sometimes I'd see something out of the corner of my eye. So it was just a really weird, haunted place. But that's like the backstory. So then I was working one night and they said, Max, there's not enough people in the corn maze. We need you to work the corn maze. And I was like, okay, fine. And like I'd never worked the corn maze, and I was like, I wasn't scared of it, but like it's kind of scary working a haunted house. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's a weird feeling. Like, you shouldn't feel scared, but it's kind of creepy working one. So I went to the corn maze that night and I was working it, and I was the very first person to scare. Like, I was the first person people would walk into and I would scare them. And what the maze was like at the start was, it was like a fork. Right at the start, people would walk through and they would either go left or right, and then it would like meet back up. It's like a circle, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't scare both sides. I could only be on the right side. So I was hiding in like this little cubby thing I broke through the corn on the right side. And I was just waiting, and like there'd be long periods of time where people wouldn't come through, and like 15-20 minutes almost. Like sometimes it'd be like 20 minutes people still haven't gone through. So I'd just like be on my phone, not hunched over. I'd just be like standing in the middle of the corn maze, like in the walkway. And right before people come in, they like scream a code word. Like they scream scarecrow. And then I scream scarecrow, and then everybody screams down the line, so everybody's ready to scare. And then I'm on my phone, like I have my mask on. I'm on my phone just like standing in the middle of the corn maze. And then I hear walking, like heavy footsteps, and I'm like, oh crap, like the people who were supposed to say people are coming didn't say anything, and I hear them walking. And I'm like, oh crap. So I turn off my phone real quick, and I look up, because I'm like right where I can see the fork, like people choosing left or right.
Yes.
And I look up, and I see a huge, like human, like tall shadow figure.
What?
Like it was as tall as the corn. I swear to God. Like,
what?
I've told so many people this story.
You saw a what? You saw a what?
So I saw, it looked like a human. So what happened was I looked up, and it was not going my way. It went the other way on the fork. Like it went left instead of right. But I saw it walking. Like I saw the side profile of it and like the back profile of it. And it was just like a black void shadow. Like it was a human figure. Like I could see arms and legs, but it was like literally just a shadow. Like there was like lights off in the distance to where you could see like a face or like clothes or stuff, but there was no detail on this thing. It was just a shadow. But I could see the arms and the legs, and it was just footsteps, and like my heart went down to my toes. Like it was the scariest feeling ever. Like it was insane, because at that moment, like from half a second looking at it, I knew it was like not a human. Like it was obviously a ghost. Like it wasn't a person on stilts. It was just like literally a void. So then I looked up and I just ran into my cubby. Like I turned around, ran into my cubby, and I just like went in the fetal position, and I just heard it. I literally just heard it like walk around the circle of the fork.
Whoa.
And I heard all the footsteps and then keep going through the maze. And like I like did not want to do anything after that. But then I'm like, the whole night I am freaked out. Like I'm just hiding. Like I'm not the one working. I'm like the one being scared at this point.
Yeah.
I'm not even scaring. So then after, I'm talking, like we all meet up, like all the workers, and I talk to the people in the corn, and I'm like, yo guys, or no, they walk up to me and they're like, hey Max, do you want to like switch positions tomorrow, like in the corn maze? And I'm like, why? Because I was gonna ask them the same thing. Like that's the first thing we were gonna say to each other. He was like, Max, do you want to like switch positions? And I was like, why? Because I had this weird feeling. He was like, no reason. And there were like 3 of them. They were like, no reason. And we're like, no, for real, you need to tell me why. And they were like, we saw something. And I was like, I saw it too. And they were like, and we both explained exactly what we saw. We were like, a huge like shadow person, like black ominous figure. And I was like, oh my god, I saw the exact same thing. And they were like, dude. And I said it was like walking through the maze, and they were like, dude, it wasn't even walking through the maze. It was like walking through the corn. Like we heard, they were all laying down. Like it was a group of 3 of them, like laying down, about to scare like a whole group. And they just heard like corn being pushed over. And they're like, who's breaking all the corn? Like who's about to prank us? And they see it just like walk right over them. And they're like, literally like they're like crying, they're like freaking out. And they, after it's like so many feet down the road, they follow it and they just see it like walk out of the corn maze and run into the woods. Like run into the woods that's like not a part of the maze, just like random like forest woods.
I need to go to this place.
Wow.
And it was like, that was the very first time we'd ever, like anyone had ever seen that ghost. Like everyone's talked about the little girl that would like run through screaming, but like no one had ever seen that before. And like, I'm just saying, I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Like, I swear to God, like it was real. It was crazy.
So what did this figure? Sorry, go ahead, Sam.
I was just saying, sometimes you have to see it to believe it, and then even when you believe it, you're like, no one is going to ever believe me about this. I've had an experience like that before where we'd actually captured some video, and we got back to the car, and it sounded so my friend's phone that I was recording on was an iPhone, and it put itself into slow mode. But during this time, something super scary happened. I had like this blob come running towards me. It had no like arms, legs, or anything like that. It just was running towards me. So we like panic and start screaming. But we get back to the car and plug the phone in, and we're listening to the recording, and it goes into slow mode, and we didn't realize, but the sound on the slow mode sounded like it was just a demonic lion. And I had tears in my eyes. I'm like, no.
What does a demonic lion sound like? Maybe like this. Let me try.
Exactly like that.
Okay.
And we're in the car, we've got the volume up really loud, and we hear this, and I had tears in my eyes, and I was like, I actually looked at my friends and I said, no one is ever going to believe us.
Wow. Sliding Edge coming in with a $5 super chat. Yes! Back from the bar, and time for Steele Stories with Dogeboy. Yes. Guys, my special guests for tonight are Dogeboy and Aussie Samantha, and we are discussing paranormal activities, tales from the crypt, from the dark side, from the netherworld, whatever you want to call it. Dogeboy just shared with us a very interesting story, of one full of suspense, corn mazes, and apparent slender men. Would you say it was that? What?
That's scary as shit.
Yeah, that one was really scary, Dogeboy. Would you describe the figure that you saw as a slender man?
Yeah, actually, that's a really good comparison. It was really tall and really slender, but it wasn't like, you know how Slender Man, like, he had the white, like, he had the suit, he had the white face, like, this was very tall and very slender, like, as tall as the corn, like, twice as tall as me, but it was just a shadow, like a shadow with arms and legs. It was crazy.
Have you ever watched the movie Signs, the Alien movie, with Mel Gibson in it?
Yes.
No.
I have.
It's like that. They live amongst the cornfields, and the aliens are there. And the way you're describing what you've seen, these really tall, slender aliens were in this movie. And I actually just watched it again yesterday, that movie. So it's crazy that I watched that movie about cornfields and slender people in them, and then you're telling this story right now.
Actually, I'm looking it up right now, and I see the aliens, and like it wasn't walking like in that fashion, like hunched over and stuff. It was like a very upright, like neutral position.
See, and the way you're explaining it right now, the way you explained that whole story, I 100% believe you. Just from how I'm hearing your voice saying it, like, I know you're telling the truth, and that's scary. I would have loved to be there.
I don't know if you would have loved to be there. I thought, like, I was just praying. Like, I was praying to God for, like, 10 seconds that it wasn't going, like, my path. It went around the other path. And I was like, I could just hear the footsteps. Like, it was so crazy.
Wow. Wow. So, take it easy, Robbie. Thanks for swinging by, and thank you for your super chats, man. Much appreciated, and I'll follow up with you soon, my friend. Robbie Gilchrist, the Dogecoin Dolphin, heading out. Good to see you, my friend. So, was this whatever it is that you saw, Dogeboy? Did it have a hat?
No hat. It was just, it was just like a featureless shadow figure. No hat. I couldn't see fingers. It was so fast. Like, it was like a second that I actually saw it, but like in that second, you can tell, like, I could tell this thing was not human. Like, I was trying to, like, convince myself it was a person on stilts, but, like, I was like, oh my god, like, it's just somebody trying to prank us, because, like, you know, that's totally believable, like, somebody that's working there, like, just trying to prank everybody, but, like,
yeah,
it was like a black hole. Like, you would shine a light at it, and you wouldn't see anything.
Did it have, like, hair? I know you said it has no features or anything, but could you tell that if it had any, like, hair?
No, it was it was really just like just featureless, like a stick man. Like, no, I mean, it was a human, like, or like human-like. It wasn't like a actual stick man, but you know what I mean. I couldn't see anything on it. Wow.
And some of your fellow workers said they also saw this same thing.
Yeah, they described the exact same thing, and then like they like confirmed to me, like, I could confirm myself it wasn't like a person on stilts, but they told the story. They were like, yeah, we after it passed us fully and we were safe, we followed it. And then once we saw it in the street lights, like passing the road, they were like, it was not a person on stilts. Like it was just a shadow. It was, yeah. And they just described the exact same thing.
Wow. Did it make any noise at all that you heard? Was there anything audible about it, or was it just totally silent?
Just totally silent footsteps. Like I could just hear the footsteps. And that's the same thing they described. My other people.
So it could footsteps like in the cornfield.
Yeah, the scariest footsteps you could ever imagine.
Maybe like that.
No breathing, no nothing. It was like someone just holding their breath.
Wow. And then it just kind of sailed it ran into the forest.
Yep.
So it sounds like you did see this thing for more than a second.
No, that's their story. Like what they...
Okay.
Like the coworkers that were on the completely other corner of the cornfield. Like they were the farthest away from me.
Yeah.
And they said like it was just pushing down the corn, like pushing it all over, like about basically walking right over them.
Yeah.
And then they said like it ran into the woods. Like I only looked up, looked at it for a second.
Yeah.
And then just like ran and hid.
Wow. So do you think he paid admission?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. So Sam, what do you think of Dogeboy's story there? Pretty freaky stuff, huh?
I'm so jealous.
Yes.
That's what I go back to. I like going and I want to find solid evidence for myself, even though like I obviously have a feeling that there's something else out there, but I'm the kind of person that wants something to stand in my face and be like, look, I'm real. You know, even though I've had a lot of things happen to me, I need something a little bit more solid.
Right. Yeah, so
that's what
what out of all your experiences, Sam, because I know you regularly go on these quests for these ghost quests. So is the story that you told us earlier the most convincing story or convincing experience that you've ever had on a paranormal level?
So I've actually got this video and I'm hoping that you guys are able to hear it. I don't know if you can turn my audio up on your end.
I can turn I can turn the music down and you can put right what you're about to play right up again.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that you've really got to listen to. Hang on. I'm going to shut my door as well so that you don't hear my kids in the background.
All right, just let us know when you are ready to play it, and then I'll turn the music down, and then we can all focus in on your audio evidence of
so
the paranormal.
And then you've got to listen to this.
Okay.
Let me just find this. And then tell me if you can hear it okay. It's on loop. Can you hear it?
I can't hear a darn thing. Can you, Dogeboy?
No.
No, we can't. I turned the music all the way down. I still couldn't hear anything.
I'm just find where my speakers on this phone.
Are you playing it through something that's audibly emitting sound?
Yeah, the speakers on my laptop.
Okay. Yeah, because we didn't hear a thing. So I don't know.
So try and listen again.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not hearing a thing.
Yeah, I can't hear anything. Maybe like if you put your phone up to the microphone.
Wait, it's probably because your headphones are plugged into your phone. That's why.
I don't use headphones.
Oh, you don't?
No. So let me just.
Yeah, then I'm not sure why we're not getting a signal then, but yeah, we're not hearing anything.
Is there a way that you can play it, Stephen? I don't know if I can. Well, let me see if I can download it onto my laptop and then send it to you. Okay.
What are you? What's this audio? What are you sending?
So this is the audio of the lady at the hospital saying, "Help me."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to download it, and I think there's a way that I can. I've got it on my Facebook page, but it's one of those Facebook pages that you have to join and.
Okay.
Stephen, I don't know if you can jump in and have a look at it.
Where did you put it? Did you send me a message or something?
In your Twitter.
Okay. Okay, I gotta join the group first. Let me see here. I have to try to remember my Facebook. I have to. It's making me log in again because I never use Facebook anymore. So
It's the group unprivate. I only had it on private because I had kind of like a weird stalker person, so I had to put it on private.
And where did you accumulate this weird stalker person?
He is also a paranormal hunter as well.
Oh, okay. So maybe not the best way to meet guys.
No, not like that kind. I've had a partner for 6 years, but he was just like a really jealous, like weird type of person. So
and you met him in the paranormal enthusiasts group. Imagine that.
I know.
I'm trying to figure out my Facebook password. I forgot what it was. I forgot what I reset it at, honestly. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I can, I'll click on it through my phone. That way I'll be able to access it. And maybe I can play it through the microphone that way. That's what I'll do.
Nice and loud, because it has to be loud.
It's got to be loud, she says, baby. Let's see here.
It's a ghost.
What's that?
I said it is a ghost, so she's kind of quiet.
The ghost with the most?
Yeah, ghost with the most.
So she's kind of shy?
No, well, she said help me, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, help me. So creepy.
Wow. Wow. Have you ever seen Ghostbusters?
Yes.
I like Ghostbusters. Have you seen Ghostbusters, Max?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't really remember.
Sam, I don't know. I'm having a hard time. I just never use Facebook, so I'm kind of like, the only way I can access my Facebook right now is through my Facebook app. So you'd have to send me a message, like that message actually to my personal Facebook.
Oh, okay. And I don't have your personal Facebook.
Let me see here. Yeah, we're trying to figure it out because I am very curious to hear this audio, this paranormal audio evidence of Aussie Sam's exploration. I sent you a link there, Sam. So Lady Ghostbusters, yes, that is. Well, I wouldn't describe Sam as a buster of ghosts. She's more of an explorer of ghosts, right?
Yes, explorer of ghosts.
An explorer of ghosts. Do you guys ever watch any of these? These, and there's like several different kinds now of these made for cable ghost hunting TV shows.
Of course I do. That's my goal. That's what I want to do.
You want to be a host of one of those shows?
Yeah, for sure. But my channel is going to be more like go to places and debunk, like spend a night or two there and be like, okay, well, we think that this place is definitely haunted or it's not haunted, you know?
So at the end, you like give it a review. You'd be like, haunted, ding, ding, ding. You're like, not haunted.
Yeah, you made a YouTube series about that. Those blow up.
Yeah, well, they do really well.
I started the YouTube last year before COVID hit, so it's just kind of like been sitting there dead doing nothing until we are able to go out and film again.
Yeah. How compelling and realistic do you think a lot of these ghost hunting shows are?
A lot of them are just full of shit, to be honest.
And how do you feel about that, Doge Boy?
I also think the same way. I think they're like totally dramatic. Like, you know, I believe there are like really haunted places.
Yes.
But those shows, like, they gotta make content consistently. Yeah. Like, they gotta like blow it out of proportion.
Yeah, there was this really funny spin-off show. There was a show that lasted 2 seasons, late night on Comedy Central, called The Kroll Show, starring a comedian and like writer. His name's Nick Kroll. But I thought it was really well done. It's been off the air for several years now, but it's a Kroll Show. And basically his entire show were skits lampooning like other shows and like reality TV shows. And but they would regularly occur. So he'd have his own episodes within episodes of like all these parody spin-off shows that he wrote. And one of his parody spin-off shows of regularly occurring characters was Ghost. One of his, I forget what the name of it was. It was a really funny name, but it was hosted by a character, one of his characters that he did called Bobby Bottle Service. And Bobby Bottle Service was kind of like a parody character of like somebody that would be on Jersey Shore. I don't know if you remember that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be like a spin-off character of like a dude that would be on like the Jersey Shore, and that character's name was Bobby Bottle Service. So it'd be like, you know, ghost hunting with Bobby Bottle Service. It was just pretty good. Savannah Knight, $5 super chat. Thank you, Savannah. Appreciate that. What a fun show tonight. We'll revisit at Halloween. Spooky, delicious vibes. We should have a special Halloween show. That'd be awesome. We'll bring the scary music. We'll bring the scary stories, and I'll think of something. We'll think of something a little extra and outrageous to do on Halloween as well. But that'd be fun. Swift says Kroll Show was so funny. Yeah, I'm glad somebody remembers that. I think it was a pretty underrated show. I feel like it didn't get the attention it deserved. But yeah, Bobby Bottle Service had a really thick Jersey accent too. It's like, it's Bobby Bottle Service and we're hunting ghosts. And yeah, and he'd always be like decked out and like really gaudy, like sequenced pocket jeans and like affliction t-shirts and stuff like that. It was pretty good. Yeah, just whoa, was that a ghost?
No, it was my kid. Because I'm inside on the laptop right. He's right next to me.
Was that a child of the corn?
Yeah. Actually,
Whoa, it is.
It definitely is a child of the corn, aren't you?
Right now, I'm picturing one of those scary babies with the fanged teeth.
It is. I'm actually leaving him right now. Because as soon as you acknowledge them, they're like, "Oh yeah, I get to speak to Steven right now," and I'm just like, "This is guys." Have you noticed every time I'm with you, as soon as you acknowledge them, they're like, "Oh hi."
They're very sweet, chatty people. Yes.
There you go. There she goes.
Steven Steele, have you ever seen the show Mountain Monsters? Or anyone else? I've never even heard of Mountain Monsters. I like the sound of it. I just like the way it rings off the tongue. I think it's got a great name. Mountain Monsters. How about it, Max? Max, have you ever seen Mountain Monsters?
Like the show?
Yeah.
No.
Wow. Have you even heard of this thing called Mountain Monsters, Aussie Sam?
I have not.
Well, I haven't seen it either, but I do know it's about monsters in mountains.
Do you guys believe in Bigfoot?
You know,
I
I don't know that I do, but you know who would be perfect, who I will further discuss Bigfoot with tomorrow night. My co-host is going to be Liv of Ask Finance, and she loves studying anything to do with Bigfoot or Sasquatch exploration. So she's really into that particular one. So I'll be looking forward to probing her a bit with that. So how about it, Dogeboy? Are you a believer in Bigfoot?
I'm not sure. I'm like 50-50, honestly.
Okay.
I was just wondering what you guys thought.
I'm not sure. Like, I certainly think that there's it's definitely within the realm of possibility and probability to me that there could be a sort of Sasquatch, a limited run of existence of, some sort of breed or creatures with similar features as a Sasquatch that are roaming out there in very rural areas. To me, that doesn't even seem, to me, just that concept, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, to me, that doesn't seem like that completely outlandish,
Yeah.
So, but on the other hand, I feel given our technological advancements now, with everybody having a video camera in their pocket, I feel like we would have had more conclusive evidence by now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, we can hunt basically every land animal ever, and we can track it down amazingly, except for this. Just a little, just suspicious. But I am 50-50 on it. Like, it's totally plausible, but just the fact that there's no concrete evidence.
Right.
I feel like to me the possibility of like ghosts and the paranormal is more plausible than Bigfoot in my opinion.
There was a guy that his car broke down on the side of the freeway by where I grew up living, and this was while I was still very young and living at home that this occurred, and it became a national story. And he broke down on the side of the freeway, and he ended up having to change a tire. And he says, well, he was changing his tire, that a creature was crawling towards him on all fours on the side of the road, and then got up on two legs, and it looked like a Sasquatch creature running towards him very aggressively with two legs. And he didn't even finish changing his tire, but he was so scared he left everything there, and his spare was only like half screwed on, so he drove it just long enough till he could get to the next exit at a gas station or whatever. And then he reported it just like that to the police, like in real time, 911, and there's a 911 call behind it. And there was like an investigation, and not enough evidence came of the investigation, but and who knows what occurred. But to me, it's just interesting, right? That somebody, let's say, it's just interesting to me that somebody would go through the hassle out of nowhere of leading their tire changed and midway through and cause damage to their car, then drive it to the next gas station and then call 911 and actually call it in real time, So
yeah,
either this person is willing to do a lot to make the headlines, right? That's one of the two. That's certainly possible too. Or they three possibilities. Or it genuinely happened. There was a creature that freaked him out to the degree that he was willing to do that. Or 3, they're kind of crazy. They're delusional. But the interviews of the person, they didn't strike me as the latter. So they either just they put themselves through that to make it all up, or they genuinely feel that they experienced. They saw what they saw. They saw that they saw enough for it to freak them out. So who knows? Johnny Abera coming in with a super chat of $9.99. Thank you, Johnny Abera. Good to see you, my friend. I love the Halloween show idea. Thanks, Sam and Dogeboy. I love parapsychology when I'm not dealing with science during my day job. Let's go. Diamond holds and buy the dips. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Johnny Abera. Appreciate it, man. Always appreciate your support. So yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm 50-50 on the Sasquatch question, Dogeboy. What about you, Sam? Do you have any thoughts or feelings on Bigfoots?
Look, I definitely believe that there is something out there. Like here, we've got not Bigfoot, but we've got a some kind of leopard or something. I don't know if it's even it's a jaguar, I think. So they think we've got a jaguar living up in our mountains.
A jaguar?
Yes. So like some people have supposedly caught it on camera, but every time they catch it on camera, it's always terrible footage.
You know what's interesting is we call them jaguars.
Jaguars?
And you call them jaguars?
Jaguar. You're talking about like the black lion leopard thingy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, like a panther?
That's it. A panther.
A jaguar?
I don't know. Panther. Up in the mountains.
Okay, a panther in the mountains. Okay.
But it's like a big one, apparently.
Okay. Got it.
And I go up in those mountains.
Yeah. So.
But I that video into your messages there, so hopefully that'll take you straight to it.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't, because they have to. I won't be able to see it till they improve my invite, because you posted it in a private group.
All right, so that's me. So did you send the invite?
So there's just like a request to join the group, and so I just requested to join the group. So I don't think I'll be able to view your content until they approve that.
Requests. Okay.
It is what it is, honey.
Go and put it on speaker, because I just approved you.
Oh, you're an admin then.
Yeah, it's my page.
Oh, it's you. Okay. All right. So okay, now let me check it out. Guys, what she sent me a link to a jaguar. No, she sent me a link to I don't even know what you sent me a link to. If I scroll
second one that I sent you. So I sent you the page link first. So go to the second one I've sent you, and that's the actual video.
Alrighty. Yeah, it just takes me to like the home page of the group. If I scroll down, will I see it? Okay, here it is. You posted it on in March 21st.
What video is that? What's the name of it?
Still to this day, my most scary experience.
Not that one.
What? Okay.
So go back to messages and go to the second link I've sent you, not the top one, the second one.
The messages on Facebook or messages on Twitter?
Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one.
You see it there?
I see a picture of the moon. Yeah, it just sends me to the front of the page. But if I scroll down, I'll see it, right?
Yes, but it's much easier if let me just tag you in it. Give me a sec.
Yeah, just give me a tag.
Because you got to scroll down a fair bit.
All right.
But I swear I sent it to you. Okay, I'm going to tag you now.
The chat is talking about Mothman. What is Mothman? Are you familiar with Mothman, Dogeboy?
Is that the meme?
That's what I was thinking. That's the first thing I thought of.
I've heard of Mothman, but I don't actually know of it. You know, I've heard the name.
Mothman.
Stephen, do you want to put that Midnight Explorers link, the Facebook page, in the thing? Because Slay Blaze said, send me that link, please, anyone.
Okay, just a second. I'm listening to it now. I have to review this content first, guys.
Review it and turn it up and listen very carefully.
What are you hearing? Because I'm not... What are you hearing?
It says, help me. It's a 3-second video, right?
Yeah, but...
But you're one of those people. Chuck it on speaker.
All right.
Chuck it on speaker. Can hear it.
All right, I'll let the people decide.
Can you turn it right up, though?
I'll try. Let me turn the music down. That will help it more. Okay, here we go. It's off.
Okay.
I'm going to play it a few times. Sam's claims this is a woman saying, help me. I'm not hearing it, but I'll let you guys hear it a few more times. I don't know. Did you?
Is it no?
Could you guys hear anything? You guys couldn't hear anything?
No, I couldn't hear it.
Well, I'm still listening to the stream right now. I need to listen real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna listen.
Here, I'm going to play it back again right now, guys. Ready? Help me. No, I'm just kidding. That was me the last time, guys. But
yeah, I heard it.
You did hear it.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's really like airy and breathy, but I heard it.
Are you guys hearing it, or are you hearing what you want to hear out of that?
I heard it.
Okay.
I'm going to post my Twitter that link to that video. So if anyone wants to go in and I can't make the group unprivate because it's already private, and apparently I've got to protect other people's privacy, so it won't let me unprivate it. So you do have to join the group.
Yeah.
Join, listen, and leave. I'm not fussed.
Right. Okay. So you definitely heard it, Max.
Yeah. I mean, it's faint, but
yeah.
If you like know what you're listening for, you'll hear it.
Was it like a whisper?
Yeah. Yeah, you couldn't hear it?
No, I couldn't hear it. Was it like, would you guys describe it as like a careless whisper? But it was a whisper?
It's actually just like you can hear just distortion, and then you can hear help me, and then distortion again.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't have like the best speaker admittance on my phone, so when I'm not on the air, I'll plug my headphones in and take a listen.
Yeah, it's really good with headphones on.
Okay.
But I had an like this that we did get on EVP, but it was when I was like 18. I'm 31 now, and the guy who actually had the footage was my old neighbor, and I'm not in contact with him anymore. But it was me, him, partner at the time, so 2 men and me, and we're in this cemetery, and I'm walking around, and I said, oh God, it's cold out here. And then you hear an old lady in the background saying, cold out here.
Wow, so she was do you think she was mocking you?
I don't know. All I remember is her voice, and it sounded like she was shivering, and she just said, cold out here. And let me tell you, we went back to the house, and I put the headphones on, and I was just going through the evidence. And I heard it, and I touched the headphones off my head so quickly because it scared me.
I'm trying to help you guys with my gasps of horror for dramatic effect.
You are a non-believer.
I love the stories. I love the stories. I'm not like 100% a non-believer. I'm a skeptic. I'm just a skeptic, but I love all like anything to do with this stuff. I think it's fun. I think it's interesting, and I love horror movies. I love paranormal. I love whatever. I love alien stuff.
I reckon Max should come up to Australia, and me and him should go ghost hunting.
That would be awesome. I'd love to see footage of you and Dogeboy on a ghost hunting expedition in Australia, in the outback.
I'm down. I've never gone ghost hunting. I don't think so, but I'd be down. But I'd be
fun. You think you have a rush during the Bitcoin conference? You will have such an adrenaline rush doing this.
You're not quite.
I have so many other stories, but I'm trying to think. They're not as memorable as what I just said, but I just have all these random weird moments, Yeah. Trying to think of them.
I can relate, but those moments usually happen in a Walmart for me. So I did have one unexplained phenomenon, which I've told once on the show before, and that was my UFO experience. And that was the weekend that I traveled to Michigan for my what was my last living grandparents' funeral, and I was there with my parents. I had met a young lady when I was out for dinner with my parents, and we exchanged contacts and ended up meeting up later out at a pub. And then we went, she lived on the lake, and we went for a walk on the lake, and we brought a blanket with us, and then laid the blanket down in front of the lake. And as a man and woman, we were doing what people started to do. And then I looked up in the sky, and she was facing away from me, we'll put it that way. And then I saw something, and I just stopped, and then she was like, "What?" And I just pointed to it, and it was it looked like 3 different colors of light, kind of rotating in color, and it was just hovering. Looked like it was hovering in the sky. And then I'm like, "What is that?" She's like, "I'm not sure." I'm like, "I just don't know what to make of it. It's just kind of standing still." And then it went down. It took a 90-degree drop. It went straight down, right? And then it just stopped again. And that's when it got really weird. Whoa. And then it just hovered again for a bit, and then it just beamed off. Then it beamed off in a 180-degree direction, out. And and she saw it, and we both saw it, and we just kind of stunned, and we just kind of sat on the blanket talking about it for about 20 minutes or so, and before calling it a night, And I still don't know what to make of it. But yeah, Sound Gods says that booty took Steven to a higher level. It was. I will never forget that experience. Now I don't know what to attribute to, because my default on all this stuff is of almost skepticism to a fault. So I'm still open for maybe there's a weird explanation of light refractions that we don't have the capability of understanding yet or something. I don't know. But what I saw was what appeared to be kind of like an orb-looking thing that had 3 different rotations of color. And then it went straight down, and then it hovered there a bit longer. Then it just kind of just beamed off pretty quickly after that. And the thing is, it was very smooth. It moved very smoothly, and didn't really make any noise. So I don't know.
That is so awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that happened.
I do that kind of stuff as well. I really, really want to see a UFO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's my one. That's my one, guys.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. So, as Carl Sagan always used to say billions and billions in reference to the amount of stars and planets that are in this universe, right? So just the simple concept that there's intelligent, advanced life somewhere else out of those billions and billions seems to be much more probable than improbable. So just on that starting point, I'm open to that, you know?
Yeah, I think we're delusional if we think that there's nothing else out there but us.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you guys recall an old show called The X-Files?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know of the X-Files, Max? It was from the days of yore.
Yeah, I know what it is, and I haven't watched it that much, but I remember it. Yeah, it was like every episode was loosely based off of paranormal activity investigations. Yeah.
And a lot of the episodes are actually based off of either people's repeated testimonies of accounts claiming such things, or leaked actual government files on things. I mean, who knows? I mean, what is a huge breakthrough is that our own government, and I'm surprised it hasn't been bigger news over the last couple of years, it's factual, it's in the public now, a matter of public record, that the government does acknowledge UFOs and have logs and logs of this stuff. We even saw footage released last year of some Air Force pilots following a UFO, all of them saying pretty much in chorus, like, what the F is that? What are we looking at? What is this thing doing? We've never seen anything like it. And the way it was moving, and to the speed of which it was moving, and to the angles of which it was darting. You know what I mean? So that's not, those kind of things aren't, and that video footage isn't just like off of somebody's cell phone, and it's not something that's open for interpretation. That is government military footage of several trained high-level Air Force pilots all concluding that they were witnessing a very bizarre, unexplainable UFO phenomenon, you know?
Yeah, that's amazing. When you get people like that actually get footage, then I love seeing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But it's also fun to see the really crappy footage. It's also fun to see people's interpretation of stuff. Have you guys ever seen that YouTube video of I forget, I'd have to revisit it to figure out what phenomenon explained it. I think it might have been a satellite that fell, like a weather satellite that fell or something, but people in the neighborhood all thought they were witnessing some sort of UFO attack or something. And then there's a guy in the hood just like going off. He's like, it's the aliens, they're coming for us, it's happening right now. And he's like just totally freaking out. That stuff's pretty enjoyable to watch. Yeah, but I'll send you guys a link. It's then it'll all make sense. It'll all make sense. So yeah, guys, are you down for a Halloween show come October?
Oh, 100%, I'm there.
No, okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I'll put together some material, and we'll work on a special Halloween stream, Hallow stream.
Yeah, everyone get your best ghost stories ready.
Yes. Well, I don't know. Do you guys have anything else to add to this one?
I have so much to add, but I think the chat would get bored if we kept talking about ghosts and aliens.
Oh man. Well, this was a lot of fun, you guys. And I know we kind of threw this one together last minute, so I want to thank both of you guys for showing up and showing out and doing a great job. I know the chat was been pretty fascinated by both of your guys' both input and stories. So this was really cool. We'll definitely have to do it again. This is great. Guys, I want to thank everyone for coming to the show tonight and hanging out and hanging with us. And it was just, it was a great show. A lot of fun. And don't forget, tomorrow night, guys, my special guest will be Liv of Ask Finance. Liv of Ask Finance will be my official co-host tomorrow night. Don't miss that. Again, if you want to follow Dogeboy on Twitter, why don't you give your socials a shout out, Max?
Yeah, my socials are, well, my Twitter is maxotg_, and everything else is maxotg.
MaxOTG, and that's on Twitter. Are you on TikTok, and then are you on Instagram too, or no?
Yeah, Instagram too.
Okay, got it. So I'm going to put at least Max's Dogeboy's Twitter in the chat, a link to that. I'm going to also put a link to Aussie Sam's Twitter in the chat as well. Just give me a moment, guys. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Just a second here.
And you know what, Stephen? During that whole talking, as soon as we started talking about ghost stories, I'm like, okay, let's see how many people drop off and just see how many people are actually interested in this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
No one dropped off while we were talking about that.
Yeah, no one really dropped off, which actually kind of surprised me. No offense to you guys, but that's good though, because I don't like to only exclusively talk about crypto all the time. It's nice to take a break, and that's kind of a hallmark of this show. We like to take a break from that stuff, and then I put Dogeboy's Twitter in the chat, guys. If you want to, I don't know why I put RT there. I'm so always used to telling people the stream to RT, the live streams, the chat to RT, the live streams. But that's where you can follow Dogeboy on Twitter, and then I'm gonna put Samantha's Twitter in the chat in a moment as well. Just give me a moment there, Sammy Como. There we go. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. This was awesome. Thanks for turning it out. And don't forget, tomorrow night at about 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will be back with Liv of Ask Finance. Tell your mom, tell your aunts, tell your uncles, tell your grandpa. Don't miss it. It's going to be awesome. A special thanks to my awesome guests tonight, Dogeboy, a.k.a. Max, and Aussie Samantha. Thanks, you guys. This was great, and we'll see you soon. Until next time, this is Steven Steele signing out.
Just the bees and birds, the summer hay.